The following is RealAgriculture.com's coverage of the Advancing Women Conference.
It is an ongoing challenge, and balance is something that I strive to do as best as I can, recognizing that sometimes it's difficult. But what I do is I try to be present when and where I'm present. So if I'm at work, I try to focus on work and make sure that I'm fully committed, working hard, working smart. But when I'm away from work, obviously I have some commitments. I need to be, checking my email regularly and staying connected. But I try to then set that aside when I am specifically spending time with my family, whether it be my husband or my daughters when they're home from university or my extended family. So it's, you can't really completely separate work from your personal life, but as much as possible, you're present when you're present. Dedicate your time and your attention and your focus on the people that you're with at the moment that you're with them. And that's kind of how I try to do that. And I always try to take a little bit of quiet time at the end of the day to kind of reconnect with my husband, reconnect with my family, to say, how's your day? How was my day? Kind of before you head to bed for the night, you kind of have that little decompress time. So that's what works for me. Well, I guess for me, I think it really is about that authenticity, that being who you are no matter where you are, whether it's at work, whether it's in your community, whether it's with your family. And so that's how you treat people, that's how you speak to people, that's how you communicate. I wear my heart on my sleeve. People know when I'm happy and they know when I think things need to be improved. And I'm a straight shooter. I tell them the way it is, but I also make sure that I tell them when I think things are great too. Kind of make sure I share that appreciation with them so they understand exactly where they stand. I think that's how I am as a wife and as a mother, and I also think that's how I am in my own community of Edenwald, Saskatchewan. So I don't have to work hard at sort of deciding, well, where am I and who do I need to be today or right now? What you see is what you get with me, and I would really urge all leaders, all individuals to think about that for themselves. It's being focused on, being true to yourself and just being authentic, and I think that's when you're the most effective. Well, that's a challenge. I mean, first of all, I'd say I follow others on Twitter, but I personally, don't tweet. This is an ongoing challenge for people who are in government, is deciding how much social media presence to have. Certainly, our premier is, very popular on Twitter, and he is very comfortable with it. And we do have people from our ministry who tweet, and they're kind of our assigned tweeters who, we fully expect for them to be out there actively tweeting. And this is something that we're continuing to work on. We hope to have more and more of a social media presence. I am on Facebook, and I also, have encouraged an internal Facebook page even within our ministry. And so what I share is what, for people to get kind of a bit of a window into who I am and what my family's about and where my passions are and where I'd like to influence things, but not that it would be uncomfortable for people to know certain things about me or my family or about the ministry. And so it's that kind of sort of constant checking in. Now, this is fun to share, and this is who I am, a little bit of that kind of personality, but not so much that it would be uncomfortable if that was ever sort of reflected back to me and I'd go, ooh, I maybe shouldn't have shared that. It is sort of that constant checking in. Is this okay to share? Yes, it is. And then, think about the impact it has on others when you share it as well. I think that's kind of always the thing you have to keep in the back of your mind with social media. I'm certainly no guru on social media. I am just starting to venture down the road. There's many more that are better at it than me. Well, when I was invited to speak at this, I actually said, I don't know if I'm comfortable with just coming to a women's conference, because I've always viewed it that, we're in an industry that women aren't a minority group. I can't say in my career that I've been hard done by because I've been a woman. In fact, I've sort of viewed it almost as an advantage in some ways because my voice has been unique and not heard. But now that I'm here, now that I've experienced this conference and I see the buzz in the room and the energy and how exciting it is to see such a gathering of, young women who are excited about their future career in ag, people who are kind of mid-career, people who are more established in their career. It has just been a phenomenal experience. And so based on my experience here, I think it's a great idea. I'm really excited to hear there's going to be another event next year. And I'm hopefully going to be able to encourage some of my own team to attend. I really think it's been an energizing experience, and I actually would hope to see maybe even a few more men here, because it might help actually men who manage a lot of people to understand how all of us tick. But I can understand that it would maybe not be the most comfortable place for them when you think about, this large group of, sort of type A personality women who are just so passionate about the industry, which is just really, it's been a tremendous experience. Well, the big issue that I think we're really focused on in agriculture is this whole issue of having the freedom to operate, social license. And, I talked about that here at the conference, and I really think that is probably the single biggest challenge we have in the agriculture industry right now. So certainly in our ministry, we're busy focused on, getting more exports, increasing our production, being focused on science-based approaches to, the solutions that agriculture can provide to the world. But I think the next big thing we need to really focus on broadly as an industry is social license, making sure that we kind of connect with our consumer, we connect with the public, we demonstrate that we're good, responsible stewards of our land, livestock, and environment. And then we think about how we can gain the trust of the public, retain it, connect with them, speak to our shared interests, and then make sure that we can continue to have social license and the freedom to operate using the tools and technology that we need to continue to feed the world. I think that is our single biggest challenge in agriculture, and certainly it's kind of my number one focus right now in my role as Deputy Minister, and trying to get that to expand right across the country and make sure governments are stepping up and doing all they can to ensure we have the ability to operate as a modern, progressive industry.